Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm your host, That One Camera Guy, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about 5D Mark IV predictions. Let's get started. I think we were all hoping for some sort of major announcements during CES, but more than likely, Canon is going to wait till CP Plus to make an announcement about their 1DX Mark II. This video is really just a speculation / prediction of what I think it'll be. The 5D Mark IV is due for a refresh this year. I've owned a 5D Mark III for several years now. I've used it heavily for video and photography. So I can at least say that for me personally, I have some expectations of what I want to see in the next generation 5D Mark IV. So let's jump into this. These are my 10 predictions for the Canon 5D Mark IV. Number 1, I'm sorry folks, it just won't have big megapixels. It just won't. 28 megapixels is as far as I think Canon will go with the 5D Mark IV. Number 2, the camera is going to keep the same magnesium alloy body that it already has, and maybe change 1 or 2 buttons. Number 3, yes, it will finally have a touchscreen. Finally. Number 4, it's going to have some sort of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth technology in there to make transferring files easier. Number 5, it's going to keep the CF and SDXC card slots. Number 6, autofocus system will be just as good as the 1DX. No dual pixel AF. Number 7, FPS increase speeds are going to be at 8 frames per second. Number 8, you will finally get 1080p at 60 frames per second. Finally. Number 9, I'm sad to say this myself because I do a lot of video. There will not be 4K. We may find some sort of flat profile C-Log gradient flavor and some advanced or incorporated recording tools. Number 10, ISO performance will go up to a native from 100 to 51,200 with some sort of expanded magic that they always throw in there for marketing purposes. And I'd say those are my 10 speculations for the upcoming 5D Mark IV, but I do want to tell you what my expectations are for the 5D Mark IV variant, if Canon decides to split the line to a photography camera and a video camera. The 5D Mark IV Cinema is what I'm going to call it, or variant. Here's what I think is going to happen. Number 1, it's going to have low megapixel count, around 12 megapixels. Number 2, it's going to have a similar design layout to the current systems. Don't change what's not broken. Because if they are going to create 2 lines, it's going to be easy for manufacturing to have 2 separate bodies that are almost the same, but different internals. Number 3, it is going to have a touchscreen, and I think it's going to actually finally have dual pixel AF. Number 4, Bluetooth Wi-Fi, standard. Number 5, here's what I think is going to happen. It is going to have CFast and UHS-2 compatibility. Number 6, similar autofocus system to the 5D Mark III and similar FPS performance. You're not going to see the exact performance in the 5D Mark IV. Number 7, it is going to have 4K at 30 frames per second. It will have C-Log and 1080p at 60 frames per second. We're not going to see 120. We're not going to see that. Maybe at 720, but I doubt it. Number 8, we're going to see advertising for 1 million ISO on the camera. Pretty sure we're gonna see that. I'm guaranteeing it. We're gonna see that. Canon released a camera that could see pretty much in the dark at 4 million ISO. This one's gonna have similar sensor tech for that to increase its low light performance. Obviously, this camera is touted to compete with the Sony A7 line. The only thing we're gonna notice that it's going to really demonstrate is that there won't be any overheating issues. You're still gonna be capped at 29 minutes and 59 seconds. You're just not gonna have the built-in image stabilization, which is gonna be a shame. Canon doesn't wanna cannibalize its image stabilized lenses, so we're just not gonna see that. Let me talk about quickly the 10 that I covered earlier as far as the variants were concerned. The first one, we're not going to see big megapixel jump because there's a 5DS and 5DSR. That's why. There's already a 5DS and a 5DSR. There's no reason for it to go to 36, 42, and higher. I'm sorry, it just doesn't make any sense right now. Number 2, we've never seen button layout changes or camera body changes in the last 3 iterations. Well, the last 2, since the first one was the original. You're going to see something similar to it. touchscreen has to be given. We're just not going to see a swivel screen. I just don't think it's in this body. You might see it in the 6D Mark II, but not in the 5D. They just won't do it. Number 4, we just need photos on our mobile devices. It needs to transfer seamlessly from point A to point B, just like that. I think what they're gonna do is create some sort of snap bridge similarity to Nikon. You're gonna be able to have your watermark transfer over to your photos quickly, and you can share your photos online almost instantly. I think they need to do something like that, or they're just gonna fall behind. I don't think the CF and SDXC is gonna upgrade, because the cameras taking photos, those formats they just need to increase the buffer capacity on the camera. That's all they really need to do. The CF cards and the XDXC lines are fast enough already to handle whatever is being thrown at it. If they throw in CFast and the UHS-2 line, the cost for media is going to really jack up. And I don't think they want to do that for this particular customer base. But that's just my speculation. 6, I already mentioned it, you're gonna get the same autofocus as the 1DX2. Number 7, FPS will increase to 8 frames per second. They don't want to cause an issue with their 7D line. They wanna give you a reason to get the 7D Mark II. There's a purpose for it for certain users. And then they wanna have that differentiation with the frames per second. So 8 seems like a good middle ground. It'll be a phenomenal low light sports camera at that point, by the way. Number 8, I really hope they correct the mushy video. I really am worried that they're gonna leave the same mushy looking video quality that we've been getting forever, but I think Canon needs to address it in this particular camera. They need to do it in this camera. Other than that, ISO performance I think should be there at 51,200. We should see something around 12,800 and 25,600 to be reasonable. Probably 12,800 just as good as 3,200 maybe. I don't know. The performance needs to go up substantially for photographers. You might even see a slightly bigger bump than this. Maybe 100,000 ISO, I think would be the case. Maybe 100,000 ISO increase in performance for this camera. My final thoughts. If Canon doesn't do 2 models, they only end up doing 1, you will see the benefits of both of these cameras. The features that I've mentioned now will split into this one-bodied camera, and we're all going to be happy customers. I will say this right now, Canon has to release something substantial for the 5D Mark IV. I know for a lot of people that we just have a lot of photographers, but there's also cinematographers, and there's also a lot of new hybrid photographers. The wedding industry is a hybrid nature now. You need to be able to do both. So I think everyone's going to end up being happy with this camera. I guarantee it. Canon is going to do something, but the issue I always have with Canon is it's always a little too late. Well, that's it for this video. I'm your host, That One Camera Guy, and I hope to see you in the next one. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like button. It really helps me out. And if you do enjoy the videos I'm producing on my channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. And that's it. Bye.